There's also uncertainty about the death toll. The President of the Philippines says he believes that the initial 10,000 estimate was too high.
Recent government figures suggest a figure of 1,833 have been confirmed dead and 2,623 injured. Now, Ferdinand Martin Romualdez is a congressman of the 1st District of Leyte, one of the regions affected by the storm. I asked him for his assessment of the death toll.
I believe the national government is trying to lay down the numbers as not to cause undue alarm, but just viewing the disaster, the scope, its magnitude, and the areas affected, we believe that the 10,000 figure is more probable than the actual figures. Perhaps the 2,500 figure is what is probably accounted for now, but due to the debris that is being uncovered as we are picking up the pieces. So as we clear the set of bodies that are visible and we start cleaning up, we are finding more bodies, and it hit very densely populated area, Tacloban City, and even the other cities that it was like Ramo, and even now we've discovered that Haiyan was completely devastated, not as populated, but where the destruction passed, it spared no one. So the estimates of the government seem to be too conservative, and we tend to agree with the UN and the foreign house-based thing. They might have a more objective and more experienced eye on the matter.
What about getting the aid to the people that need it most? How are you dealing with that?
The aid is not getting to the people soon enough. The people here are almost on their 5th day of no clean water, food, medications, nor shelter. We are having heavy rains now. The human casualties of dead bodies, since they are so numerous and are being uncovered day by day, are not being collected properly, hence posing a serious health hazard.
In your assessment, what do you think needs to be done in order to improve the situation as it is now?
Well, the sense of urgency should be stepped up at the national level as the international relief organizations come in, and better coordination is needed because we are seeing a lot of relief boats, medicines, and equipment coming in, but it's not reaching the people affected, thereby causing a sense of hopelessness and desperation in many of those who have survived and now fleeing their homes, their municipalities, their locales, out of sheer desperation. We just imagine it as a ground zero, as if a nuclear bomb had exploded above us.
Those Congressman Romualdez speaking to us a little bit earlier. He's from the 1st District of Leyte, one of the regions that's been affected by Typhoon Haiyan. Well, let's speak again with the BBC's Angus Crawford. We spoke to him in an earlier edition of Newsday. Welcome back to the program, Angus. Can you tell me a little bit more about this incident that we heard about 8 people that were killed in a Philippine rice store? Can you hear me, Angus? I have a feeling that line may have gone down to the Philippines. I'll give it one more try. Are you there, Angus?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm sorry about that.
No worries. I know technically it can be a little bit difficult to connect. You're just outside Manila, I should let our listeners know. But we were hearing in our news bulletin about that 8 people were killed in a Philippine rice store. We're also hearing from a congressman from one of the stricken areas that there was a lot of tension growing over the lack of aid. What's the latest you can tell us?
Well, what seems to be occurring in the affected areas is, as the Congressman said, an increasing frustration at the inability of the authorities and the NGOs to get the aid to the people who really need it. So 2 really very serious incidents we're just hearing details about now. One in a place called Alang in Leyte, where it's reported that 8 people were killed when they were trying to get in with a group of others into a central government warehouse which had food aid. They were trying to get in, but the warehouse itself collapsed. And those 8 people were killed in that collapse, possibly giving you an idea, an indication of just how desperate they are at the moment. And we've also, in the last few moments, heard reports of shots being fired in Typhoon, a firefight between troops and armed men who are apparently trying to get food there. We also heard reports last night that an aid convoy on its way to Typhoon had been attacked by armed communist rebels. The weather is deteriorating. There is a logjam, by the sounds of it, of aid in certain places. I heard from the head of the Philippine Red Cross today who was saying he was deeply frustrated. He had been through many severe problems in his career in the Philippines, seen many disasters, but this one, he said, was particularly frustrating. He had lorries loaded with equipment and supplies, with helpers. They were stuck on a road towards Tacloban and simply couldn't get there. And he was saying, we are going to make it today, whatever, by hook or by crook, we will push on through.
But it must be incredibly concerning if there is this breakdown in law and order.
I think that really is a real concern. I mean, I don't think we should overplay it, because the greatest concern must be for the health and well-being of the survivors. What they need, first of all, is water. Water is still not getting into them. Clearly the water in the area from the public supplies is contaminated and can't be used. Clean water can't get to them. That obviously then creates a second problem of disease. Medicines also aren't getting in as quickly as they should be. And then there's a very basic issue of food and shelter. Again, these are not happening. I mean, reports are to be believed they're expecting something like 1,200 births in the next month in this area. So you can imagine women giving birth in this area at the moment, highly risky. The health situation is clearly very serious for the most vulnerable in the communities at the moment. And as you said, there is also this debate between central government and local government about the scale, the true scale of the disaster and the number of deaths.
Which will not be, I'm sure, confirmed for any time soon. Or whatever the number of deaths are, there are so many people that are waiting for aid. That much is certain. I want to thank you, Angus Capper, for persevering with us there with that line. He's just near the capital, Manila, and just bringing us an update on a couple of incidents that are happening right now in the Philippines.
You're listening to news on BBC World Service. With Alan Kasudia and Nolan McGovern. I'm looking at Harrods.com, which is one of the hospitals in Israel, and the online edition has